In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I went from making $54,000 a year as a mechanical engineer in Michigan to now making multiple six figures in tech as a product manager. This didn't happen because I got lucky. It happened over 9 years, 3 job changes, and one specific pattern that I used every single time. I'm going to tell you exactly what that pattern was because you can use it too. Okay, so rewind. I'm 5 years into this mechanical engineering job in Michigan. I'm decent at it. The company sponsors my visa. I'm doing everything on the checklist: safe major, sponsoring employer, H-1B, green card in motion. And I remember sitting in my car in the parking lot after a totally normal, totally fine day, just thinking, I don't actually want to do this for the next 10 years. Now, that's not the video where I tell you I quit the next day and became a product manager making 6 figures. That's not what happened. And I think that version of the story is why people get discouraged, because it's not real. What actually happened started about 2 years before that parking lot moment, and it started with a translator job. My company had just opened a joint venture in Korea. I spoke the language, so I ended up sitting in all of the calls between our team and theirs. Somewhere along the way, translating turned into coordinating. Timelines, stakeholders, figuring out who owed what. Nobody assigned me that. I just kept doing it because I liked it more than my actual engineering job. That's the part people skip when they tell the story. I didn't wake up one day and decide I was going to become a product manager. I didn't even know product management was a job yet. I just noticed that the work I kept drifting toward without anyone asking me to was completely different from what was on the job description. That gap is the whole story. Eventually, I went to my manager and asked him to make it official. Move me into program management. He said yes, because I was already doing the job in every way that mattered. That ended up being the exact pattern I repeated every time after this. Do the role before you have the job title and ask for the title later. So now I'm a program manager working across the US, Korea, and India, and I stumble onto a product school webinar. This is the part that actually changed things, not the function switch, but hearing product management described as its own real discipline for the first time. Prioritization framework, customer voice. I taught myself RICE, Kano, the whole toolkit, and started quietly using it in my actual job before anyone asked me to. I made the case to my manager that the company needed this function. He agreed. I became the company's first official product manager. I still wanted to build software, not hardware. So while I'm working full-time as a hardware product manager, I enrolled part-time in a master's program in computer science. And I started grabbing any software adjacent product work I can find internally. But getting that first software PM job wasn't quick and it wasn't easy. It took 8 months of interview failures. I had final rounds with Google, Amazon, Starbucks, Circle CI, and a handful of others. Round after round, rejection after rejection. And I want to say that part clearly because most people leave it out of the story. It wasn't one lucky application. It was 8 months of getting close and then not getting it over and over before I finally landed one. And this is where the money part comes in, because I want to be specific about it, not vague. That mechanical engineering job was $54,000 starting salary. That first software product manager job after 8 months of trying was $125,000 in base salary and $60,000 in restricted stock units. And every move after that, I negotiated instead of just accepting the number they gave me, which by itself probably added another 6 figures over time that I would have otherwise left on the table. 9 years, 3 different job changes, 1 master's degree finished on the side while working full time. A move from Michigan to Phoenix to New York. But if you take one thing from this video, don't take the number, take this. The thing that actually carried across every single one of those moves wasn't a framework, a certification, or even the master's degree. It was the habit of doing the next role before I had permission to do it, and the willingness to keep going through 8 months of no. Mechanical engineering didn't teach me product management. It taught me how to break an ambiguous problem into smaller pieces and ask the question underneath the question. That's the only thing that actually transferred. So if you're sitting in your own version of that parking lot right now, a good job, safe path, quietly restless, I'm not telling you to quit. I'm telling you to go find the version of the job you actually want and start doing it inside the job you already have.